Hi guys, welcome back. I'm Josh with the Financial Advisor Car Guy. Today I wanted to visit with you a little bit about garage organization. Now, this is gonna be a little bit different of an episode. We're not talking about a car per se. We're gonna talk about how to work on a car in a more organized manner. So one question I get pretty regularly is, Josh, how do you build these cars or work on these cars with such a limited amount of garage space? So I'm gonna walk you around my garage a little bit and talk to you about what it is that I've got and why, and how to just remain consolidated and not accumulate too many tools, too many things you're not gonna need ever again. Those one-time parts or tools for one-time jobs aren't really necessary to buy. Or if you do, buy it from some place like Harbor Freight or something where, if it breaks, it's not gonna matter too much because you didn't pay much, right? Or if you want to rent tools, you can go to like an O'Reilly or a Napa or AutoZone or one of those types of places and rent a lot of tools for very little money, fractional amounts of what it would cost to buy. So I'm gonna walk outside and we're gonna start from the outside in. Okay, so I'm standing in my driveway looking in towards my garage. Now, it's a little bit convenient that my wife is at work right now, so her car is not in the garage. But what you'll notice is where her car normally parks, there are these two black runners on the ground. Now, those aren't for anything but safety of the floor. Just a couple of months ago, I had a company come out and do this wonderful epoxy floor. It's got a lifetime warranty. It looks great. It's filthy right now, but it looks great. I'm really pleased with it. But they said there are two things that damage, or I should say void the warranty. One is studded winter tires. Well, we live in Central Oregon where there's snow, and my wife likes to have studded tires on her car. So I bought these runners so she could pull in and out without damaging the floor. The second thing that voids that warranty is battery acid. So you'll notice as we kind of go around my garage, I do have a couple of batteries that are not stored on the ground, they're stored on my workbench. Just in the event that one of them does corrode, I don't want it to hit the floor. Okay, so the first most obvious part of a functional garage, in my case, is this 4-post lift. Now, I bought this lift 5 months ago. It actually sat in pieces for the first 2.5 months that I owned it. And I wanted to paint the garage. You can see it's gray. It used to be kind of a dirty white, and the floor was untreated and unfinished. And here we are today. So it's been kind of a transformation. When I did all the other stuff, I decided it was time to assemble the lift and get it going so that I could put this Mustang up high and off the ground so we could park my wife's car underneath. What I had to do in the past was, you can kind of see over here, this area behind my truck under where the lift sits. This car used to actually sit there sideways. And so I had 4 wheel dollies that I would set the car on and then spin it sideways, then be able to back my wife's, or pull my wife's car in and pull my other car in, or whatever the case may be. Well, about 2 years ago when I bought my truck, the truck was destined to just sit outside forever, the way things were going. It's too long a vehicle, so I couldn't pull it into the garage with the Mustang parked sideways back here. So I decided that a 4-post lift would be the best approach in, again, being functional in my garage. It gives me a ton of workspace kind of in this area here. And it allows me to kind of have my cabinetry built sort of the way I want it for function and purpose. But if we spin around, so the car is up in the air, and again, my wife will pull in and, half of her car, the front half of her car fits underneath the Mustang. And then over here is more storage space. So like in the winter, when my kids aren't riding their bikes, here they are. I also have a little roll around work cart back there. You can see the gas can sitting on top. I keep some very, tools that I use more frequently inside that. So I've got some screwdrivers and a couple of ratchet sets and things like that. You'll see my battery tender as well as a portable jump pack on there. Those are things that I use pretty regularly. And so, I wanted to keep them accessible on a portable cart. Behind that, you'll see, you can't really see it, but I have my compressor and a shop vac. Again, those are things I use all the time. And that shop vac has a really long hose, so I can kind of drag it out and clean the cars and do what I need to do with that. And then on the wall, I have, my broom and my brush to wash the truck and wash the trailer I've got and things like that. So, again, from a functionality and a storage opportunity, having the lift is kind of cool because I can put things underneath. You'll also see my financial advisor car guy desk sitting there up against the wall. And those are out of the way. I can put the car down if I move those bikes. And so that's kind of a great thing. Is we'll kind of show you from the side here. Plenty of space over here so the car can go up and down without hitting any of the stuff up against the wall. What you see here is the rear window for this 68 Mustang. I'm a little frustrated. I know several videos ago I was talking about my convertible hardtop that I've got for this car. Now it's been put on hold for now, which is on me, certainly not the body and paint guy. The car's transmission is giving me some real issues. I put the car down and put it into drive and it wouldn't move. So I need to figure that out. I think I've been dealing with a transmission fluid leak for a couple of years. I think one of two things has happened. Either fluid levels got too low to shift, or more likely something has just been screwed up inside. I did buy a rebuild kit and I do plan to take it to a transmission shop and get it rebuilt so it's as good as new. And that's really what I need to do before I worry about the top up there. So again, it's just resting up there with some stuff draped over it just for protection. So in the spring, hopefully I can get the car out. I'll probably have to tow it to the transmission shop and get that going, but all in all, that's fine. Again, it's up in the air, so it's not in the way. That's the back glass for the hardtop. One other thing that I did when I was revamping my garage, I'm really happy with it. This is a high lift mount storage tire rack, and it does fold flat up against the wall when it's not in use. But otherwise, you know, this deal folds down, and then you can put, it actually would hold 5 tires of this width. I don't have a 5th necessary to be up there, but it's pretty great. So these are where my wife's winter tires go. And right now her winter tires are on. So these are her summer tires, which you can tell need to be replaced immediately. I don't think these are even gonna go back on the car. You will notice the orange ratchet strap that runs through. One of the reviews I found for this particular lift or rack was that over time, it can wear out. And I think it was probably a user error. I think maybe those folks weren't fastening it to the wall appropriately or missed the stud or something. But they said a couple people reported that it had fallen off their walls and damaged their cars below, right? The tires would hit the ground and bounce or whatever and ricochet into the side of a car or on top of a car, causing a lot of damage. So I took precautions and used this ratchet strap and a couple of those U-hook type of deals and put those into the stud right there, and ratchet strapped them so it's a little bit snug. It's not super tight, but snug. I think it's enough to relieve some of the weight off those posts. So anyway, I don't think I'm gonna have any problems, but I don't dislike it. I think it's a very functional deal, and I love having them off the ground. They used to just kind of be stacked in the corner of my garage, which was always an eyesore and a dust catcher and whatnot. As I come around the corner here, you know, this storage cabinet, I've got some snow tools here to shovel the driveway and things, and then the ramps for my lift. But I just keep my garden supplies for my backyard in that bin there. So it's kind of just easy access. If I'm working in the backyard, I can pop into the garage and grab what I need. If I come around my truck here, this is my golf corner. I've been trying to get my wife to golf, so we've got some ladies clubs here, my men's clubs, and then my kids clubs. So that's kind of a fun activity. And then as I walk around my truck, this is my little home-built arcade that my son and I put together. Kind of fun. It's got a couple thousand games built into this deal. They come out and play every so often, but kind of fun. But this corner here, this is what I wanted to spend a few minutes talking about. You know, as far as the efficiency goes, this is an old kitchen island. My parents remodeled their home a couple years ago, and they had taken out their center island, which was this great granite island, and they didn't really know what to do with it. So I told them I'd love to have it in my garage and I would love to use it as a workspace. And so they gave me some cabinets, which are hanging on the wall, and some of their kitchen island, which are down below. And then of course that, you know, I don't know if it's an 8-foot island. It's like 8 by 3, I think. So it's a nice workspace. It gives me a lot of room to work. If I pull those tools off the work surface, I've got a lot of room. And so that's great. And then all the cabinets below, you know, I've got some power tools. I've got pretty much everything. Everything. I mean, just a little bit of everything. I've got, like I said, power tools. I've got, you know, boxes and things of screws and nuts and adapter plates and all sorts of, you know, screwdrivers and wrenches and all that other stuff. And then more of that in the actual toolbox. You know, over there I'm going to have saws and hammers and, you know, ratchets and wrenches and all sorts of stuff. You know, on the work surface, I've got some bigger tools that don't fit down below. So, you know, I've got my drill press and my table saw and belt sander and scroll saw and welder. And, you know, then I've got the central vac for the inside the house and then here in the garage. And then I store paint and body stuff up in the cabinet, and over there is more welding stuff and whatnot. You know, so I just try to keep everything pretty, and you can see how packed those cabinets are. I try to keep everything in its place, and I know where that is. So if I need my, you know, hand sander, I go down there and get it, and then I go up here and pull out the sanding discs, and, you know, it's just very efficient that way. And then over here, if I need a screwdriver or a wrench or a socket, whatever it is, you know, I know which drawer it's in and can just get it. And then my obvious jack works as a door stopper as well. So I let my dog out here the side door, and we'll use the jack to kind of prop the door open. My pressure washer, you'll see it there. You know, again, it's just kind of organized so that it looks tidy, but the point of that is I know where everything is, and that's kind of the goal. If I circle back around, let's see. You know, again, I'm gonna say that the biggest space saver is this lift. It's very functional in that I can get under the car. I can work on the underside of the car. One thing I wanna do is detail and paint the underside of this car. I've never been able to do that. I've never been able to, you know, get on a creeper and crawl underneath there. I want the space, especially with the fumes of some spray paint or undercoat. And, you know, this gives me an opportunity to do that. I also have to be real careful. This is about the highest setting I can go without the roof of the car hitting the ceiling. In fact, I had to move that one LED light, the one that's running left to right. That used to be over the roof. It matched the one across from there above my truck. And so I had to move that light to get the car to tuck up closer to the ceiling. But anyway, that's pretty much all I've got for you guys today. I wanted to, again, kind of give you a quick tour, show you what I work with. You know, again, specialty tools and things, I tend to rent them. If I don't need to use them more than once, I don't know that I find the value in spending all the money to buy them. Yeah. One thing I'd like to show you guys that I'm not going to in this video is the lift in operation. So putting the car down, putting the car back up, you know, putting the ramps on the lift, showing you how the hydraulic system works and all that stuff. Gonna pass on that today. I have to move the bikes and get everything out of the way. And like I said, without the car being able to shift into drive, I can't really drive it off the ramp and put it back on to show you guys. So I'll wait until I can, and we'll do the whole thing. I'll take you for a tour. I'll drop the car off the ramp. I'll maybe drive around the block so you guys can see and hear the car, and then I'll pull back in the garage and put it back up on the ramp and then show you how it goes back up. So I'll do that in the future, again, probably sometime in the spring. For now, this is a tour of the garage. Just again, kind of show you what I have, what I'm working with. I don't spend a lot of money on tools. I'll rent or borrow if I have to. I have accumulated enough stuff to get me by. When I redid my garage, I want to say it was in November, I had old workbenches, a bunch of old tools. I had a second toolbox like this one here. It was black. And I was able to consolidate a lot of my tools and kind of put them on Craigslist Marketplace, sell some of that stuff off. I have yet to come across a tool that I feel like I regretted selling, that I needed again. You know, again, a lot of redundancies. You can only have so many of something, right? So when you have 50 screwdrivers, unless they're all different sizes and all that stuff, which is unlikely, you don't really need them all. And so to me, again, I kind of streamlined all that, consolidated a bunch of it, was able to consolidate all my tools to just what you see behind me, and then that rolling cart. up against the wall under the lift. But to me, I'd rather have a lot of extra space than a lot of extra tools. So I can always go buy something if I need it. Again, I try not to do that. I don't want to accumulate too much stuff. I just want what I need. Thanks again for watching. Please like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. And as always, may every investment you make be a good one.